I'm a man of my word. I made a bet with Anton that I did not win. Therefore, I have to do a shotgun and a shot while wearing a mask. Mask, beer. We got some tequila. So
Tequila.
here goes nothing.
There you go, buddy.
Literally nothing is coming through this mask.
You're not gonna get corona. You gotta put it under the mask. It's got a feed bag.
No, it's okay. That's all I did. Is get drenched with it.
You gotta feed bag it under the mask.
So that's terrible. Now, shot.
That's not gonna keep.
Oh. All over.
There you go. Don't try it at home.
How much did you get in? Did you get any taste of anything?
What's that? Oh,
Like,
Welcome back to the Biddiecast Week 5 edition. Your host, Sean Klein, Dave Pest, and special guest, Anthony Mariani. Gentlemen, it's been a week, hasn't it?
Sure has.
Yeah, that's for sure. Very much so.
So,
Yeah.
Dave, talk me through that shotgun you had to do. What's that?
I tell you what, I didn't really get to consume much of the beer nor the shot because all I had was cloth masks, right? And they work pretty well. I'll say that because I mean that thing got soaked, but I was sucking real hard, and nothing was getting into my mouth. So yeah, it went all over me, all over the floor. It was a good time.
You made that so bad. I love it.
So, Anton, do you wanna explain like why you had to do that? You guys were playing each other this week, right?
No, we were playing each other, and up until I was looking pretty good already, honestly. And then Jimmy G gets benched with negative points. And all of a sudden, Dave's right back in it. So it comes to the game last night, and Dave has Singletary, who I traded him to, and I have Diggs. So and so pretty much we're only a point apart. So it's just like I'm waiting for Diggs to have a big game, and he wanted Singletary, and Singletary probably had his worst game as a Bill, actually.
Yeah,
honestly.
it was terrible.
Yeah, it was not a good game at all. But there's always next week. And Anton, this has been like a back and forth thing. Do you feel like personally attacked by Dave at all because he's constantly railing on your team, man?
Dude, he's railed on my team. He has the point. He has the bet with you by the 3.5 over. So now I'm 2-3. So now I'm 2 wins away from having you win that bet. So I'll get it done. Don't worry.
So my question to you, Anton, is: do you feel that I rail on your team harder than I rail on your mom?
Go fuck yourself.
Honest question. The viewers want to know the answer.
You rail my mom more.
There we go.
At least you think you do. At least you say it many times in the chat, almost every day in any chat that we're on.
I mean, Anton, we'll leave it at this. I'll say one more thing. You can say anything you want. That's not going to stop me from coming over for Thanksgiving dinner every year. I'm still going to be there. Eventually, you're going to have to call me Dad. So
well, let's take a look at this game here, shall we? And then let's go into the Week 5 and recap.
Yeah, there it is. So
there it is. Anton
Great.
with 134 points over Dave's 114. Dave, take it away from here. What happened to your team?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, you look at my lineup. Singletary didn't show up. Zach Ertz didn't show up. Matt Ryan laid an egg. The Steelers defense, I mean, they did fine, I guess, for a defense. I'll tell you what, after the 1 o'clock games, after the early games, I had already told Anton I was conceding to defeat. He said, hang in there, it's not over yet. And then I got some glimpse of hope back. But yeah, at the end of the day, even look at my bench. I didn't even have anybody I could, my bench didn't even do shit. So it's just overall, my team essentially was like the Buffalo Bills. We weren't prepared. We didn't show up, and we got an L in the loss column for it.
Unprepared. Anton, what got you the win here? Who was it?
Dude, honestly, man, it was Diggs. Had a good solid performance, man. Another 100-yard reception for Diggs. That was great. So I'm really cool with how he performed there. So and my quarterback didn't show up, which is bad, obviously, but I still got it done with that. Hill was great. I'm solid. My wide receivers. Hill was great. Mozart came in. That was a risky, Sean, to play Mozart because he just came back off injury over Montgomery, but he worked out well for me. So Seahawks defense was good. Mike Davis, man. Ooh, has he been a good pickup for me?
Mike Davis.
Yeah.
Dave, don't you wish you had him right now with Christian McCaffrey on the bench?
Well, Christian McCaffrey is potentially coming back next week, FYI. I mean, we'll see. Mike Davis has certainly shown that he could be a serviceable running back in this league. We'll see what happens when McCaffrey comes back, because everyone knows, McCaffrey is a top guy there. So the reason I traded Mike Davis was because his production's eventually going to slow down, I think. So we'll see.
By the way, I did this, Dave. I just realized this too. I did this without Aaron Rodgers, man. You traded me for, and I couldn't use him against you, and I still got the W. No Aaron Rodgers.
Still getting the W and moving along with 2 wins now 5th in the division. Dave, you're 3rd in your division. We'll take a look at the standings later on, but first, Anton, I want to talk to you for just a little bit about how you're enjoying the league. You're a first year for you.
Yeah.
How's it going so far for you? You had some ups and downs.
This is the most interactive league I've ever been in. I've been in a lot of leagues, and stuff like that. I was in a work league last year, where it's because of COVID, we don't have that this year, obviously. But that was, pretty interactive too. But this has got a lot of talk to it. This has a lot of smack talk to it. There's a lot of trades and there's a lot of fun shit that happens. No, this has definitely been a overall pretty solid league. Honestly, we've had some, some disagreements on some things that have happened. Dave especially, I think, disagrees with a lot. Dave left the chat for a minute there. I was like, he'll be back. So, but overall, definitely been excited that I got the invite over the summer when you were all talking. So I'm hoping now, my slow start is starting to pick up with that win, and I feel comfortable. Look at my roster now, and you guys preview my game. I wonder what you guys think. You both took me to lose that game, if I remember correctly. You both had.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. So then you guys
both. We're gonna get into that a little later. Dave, not looking too good after this week.
Okay.
Really?
So he's losing bets left and right now.
I love it, man. It's awesome, man. So I'm cool. I'm happy for sure. I'm happy.
Well, hey, Anton, thanks for joining us on this week's edition of the Biddiecast. We're going to preview the rest of the games, but take it easy. Thanks for coming on the show today.
Yeah, no problem, guys, man. I'll talk to you later. Peace.
See you later.
Always good to have guests. Always good to have guests.
You ready to head into the remaining games here?
Yeah, let's do it.
Where are we? All right. First one up. First game of the week. It would be the next game. The next game of Week 5 we're going to preview here is Paul's team versus Derek's Double D. Both teams ending up 3-2 here. Paul on top with 155 points. What's this look like to you, Dave?
This is an old-fashioned slugfest is what it looks like. Both teams put up good showings. You look at Paul's team. The difference there was certainly his quarterbacks. Not really. He just had an overall great performance from his team. He got 29 points from Adam Thielen. He had DK Metcalf, who is a stud. If there's
what a monster he is.
Any doubts about DK Metcalf?
I love DK Metcalf, man.
Yeah, and it looks like for the most part, almost with the exception of 2 of his players, all his players went above their projection.
Everyone had good showings.
Yeah.
And I think the difference here is on Derek's team, Deontay Johnson. He cannot.
Well, he had a struggle.
He's had a COVID game, then he broke his back this week. It's not broken,
right.
but He's supposed to play this upcoming week. But Deontay Johnson's been kind of disappointing after a really good week 1 showing. And then you have Hayden Hurst, another disappointing showing there, and Traquan Smith too. You would think with Michael Thomas out, and Chris Godwin out on Derek's team, he's got to find a way to plug those holes to be able to come up with some wins. Next game of the week, my team, the Muppets, getting the high score of the week. In fact, we have the high score. We have the most points for all year. So,
yeah. No, that's not true. That's not true.
We'll take a look. We'll take a look later.
The team that the person who you get to nominate to do a challenge eclipsed 200 points.
Not this week.
Not this week, no. But yeah, so you look at your team, fantastic. Stop from top to bottom. I mean, your team was
find more than 845 points in the league. You can't. All right.
Yeah.
Back to the show.
You had a good week. I mean, you look at everyone. Russell Wilson. I mean, he's always going to do good. Gaskin, Gurley, Evans. I mean, from top to bottom. I mean, tell me where there was a weakness on your team. Your defense, 5 points, fine. Take it every day, right? You take it every week. 5 points, it's fine. It's the defense. Everybody else double digits. Your lowest 15 points was your lowest output besides your defense. I mean, that's recipe to win every single week.
I forgot who I actually traded earlier in the season for Jared Goff. I traded with Anton to get Jared Goff, and man, he has been a player this year. I'm really glad that I got him.
Yeah, you did that.
Along to Chris's Bend It Like Beckham, going to 4-1 over the itty bitty tight on my committee, who got the lowest score this week after their bombshell last week. What's he going to do to fill that hole that Le'Veon Bell's leaving, or do you hold on to him? What's going on here?
I think you hold on to him. You wait to see where he goes. He certainly could go to a team that might need a running back. With the guys that got injured or out for the season. That's certainly a possibility. I mean, a team that might be a contender. I would personally think he's probably going to go to a team in a backup role. Because let's be honest, Le'Veon Bell is not the same running back he was 3 years ago. So it'd be interesting to see. I mean, if I were him, I'd certainly start looking for different running backs. I mean, he got Aaron Jones on the bench for his bye. I think Mark Ingram was his pickup that he did last week. So we'll see.
Player there, he's got some holes to fill on running back, but he's been good all season. That team's solid all around. But you know who I think's really surprising people is Chris's Bend It Like Beckham. This team is just solid up and down. Little shaky here with Delvin Cook over the last week, but it sounds like he's going to be fine. George Kittle on there. Justin Jefferson didn't show up last week, but I think he's still an excellent plug in there. The one thing we got to talk about here, though, is Melvin Gordon getting that DUI. Who knows if he's still going to stick around. But I think Chris's team is here for the long haul. At 4-1, he definitely shows it. Heading to the last game of the week, you got Alex's UK Bills and Matt, so I won't get fined. Oh, my goodness. Matt slips to 0-5. Can it get any worse for your brother-in-law? I don't know what's going on here.
I mean, he's putting up points every single week. 135 is not a bad showing. I mean, that's probably the top 50% of the scoring of the league this week. It's just, again, he's running into all these matchups where the team he's playing is just getting bigger and better performances, and it's a shame. I picked him to win this week. It didn't happen, but I'm rooting for him to win.
Take a look inside the numbers here. Points against. He's got the most.
Right.
I'm in second. Luckily, my team's been doing some offense, but he's got the most points against. It's just really bad luck for Matt. I don't think 0-5 really shows how good his team really is, because he's been getting these really rough matchups against teams like UK Bills, where they went off, scored 168 points. But I think a lot of this was kind of like lucky plops in there, where you have Gardner Minshew getting 25.5. That's not normally him. Drew Brees this year, he's looked like trash, but then
Right.
puts up 26 points. So I think he got lucky in a few places there, obviously unlucky in some other places. Alex definitely deserved the win, but I can't help but feel bad for Matt that he keeps getting these tough matchups. I think Alex had the second most points this week. Let me just run through real quick here. 168, second most points in the week. So tough matchups for Matt so far this season. Let's see if he can turn it around later this year. But let's take a look at our predictions here. Man, Dave, you couldn't get you. I think you got one right. Yeah, you're at 9-11 now. You got one right, and I just took the anti-you last week, so I got most of them right.
Yeah, and it's we've been saying all week long is the first person to string a couple of these together is gonna win it. It's 4 games or 3 games. I'm sorry, I'm
still 3 games behind.
I'm pumping for a strong week this week, but needless to say, I've been doing some ornament shopping, so we'll see what happens.
Oh, I can't wait! All right, going into this week's matchups, you have my team, the Muppets. I got some empty spots there. I'll show you the bench, and then it's your team. So this is the primetime game, right?
Oh yeah.
It has to be the battle between the co-hosts here.
Absolutely.
All right, who are you taking, and are we putting a bet on this week?
Yeah, we're absolutely putting a bet, and I'm absolutely taking myself in this one. It looks like, you got your offensive player, your flex player, and then your defense, of course. Defense is a dime a dozen. I'm sure there might be a few waiver moves out there that everyone has some bids on. We'll see what happens at 3 a.m. Tomorrow morning, I believe. We'll see what happens. Even then, I think it's going to be a close game, but again, I'm never going to bet against myself. So I'm going with me on this one.
And because you're going with you, I'm going to go with me just to make this interesting. Again, I've got a lot of solid players that I could plug in there, even if I decide not to start a quarterback, or whatever happens in waivers or trades this week. I feel like I'm in a position where I don't have to start a quarterback. So let's take this bet. What's it gonna be?
I don't know. I've been giving it some thought, and I haven't come up with anything yet. I don't know if you have anything in your mind, but I'll certainly in a couple days. I think I want it to be a good one, but unless you have anything on your mind about what a good bet would be.
I think we got to make this an ice bet.
Okay. What do you mean by that?
Smearing off ice. Down on one knee, chug it.
The big one?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Man up.
All right, let's do the big one.
All right.
Big
Perfect.
smearing off ice. Damn,
I'm nervous. I'm nervous.
Because go big or go home, Dave. Right? I was thinking just get a 6-pack and do one of them. No, let's go big. Get the 40.
Yeah, because I'm not going to drink the rest of the other 5, so might as well just get the one, make it a big one.
All right, looking forward to it next week. Let's run through the rest of the games.
Sure.
Who are you taking between Alex and Chris? Chris is 4-1. He's currently the number 1 seed in the country right now.
Yeah, we talked about it. His team is going to be tough to beat. I was saying the same thing about Ben's team the last few weeks, but Ben's team lost Austin Eckler, Le'Veon Bell. Who knows what's going on with that? I think Josh Allen is a fantasy quarterback, got brought back down to reality with this game last week against Tennessee. So I'm putting Bennett like Beckham. I think Bennett like Beckham is the number 1 seed overall, as you mentioned. I'm going with Beckham.
I'm also going to take Beckham because I just don't like betting against 4-1. He's somehow found a way to win four games this year. I think he does have some questions here with like Melvin Gordon. Obviously, or was he on a bye? And is he even going to be playing this week? I don't know. Delvin Cook's going to be out. He's got an uphill battle, but I just got a feeling that he's going to come up with a win. I don't know why. Everything else tells me statistically Alex should win, but I'm just siding with 4-1 for some reason.
Yeah, I as well. I would agree with that.
Next game up, Matt trying to get his first win against Anton of all people. Are you going to keep betting against Anton against an 0-5 team, Dave?
I mean, Matt's got some work to do, right? he's got 1, 2, 3 guys that are on bye weeks, but he certainly has the ability to fill those on his bench. So it's not like he has to scramble in an emergency situation for anybody. Man, I just, here's the thing about Anton's team is Jimmy Garoppolo. They say he's fine, but he looked like garbage last week. And then Nick Foles is Nick Foles. It's man.
Quarterbacks are rough.
I want you to tell me who you think's gonna win first. I don't want to be the first one to do it every single time.
Oh, I'm gonna stick with sort of what I bet on Chris's side, saying I'm gonna go with the winning team here. I can't go with an 0-5 team. They got to show me that they can win. And we already discussed that. Well, he's had a lot of bad luck against them, but show me you can shake that. And I mean, there's nothing he can do about it. But
right.
I'm just gonna I'm in this to win it, so I'm taking Anton again.
Okay. Well, you know what? Upset alert! Upset alert! Matt gets his first win this week. Against Anton. Anton drops 2-4. Matt goes to 1-4. I think and I'm going to tell you the 2 players on Anton's team who are going to be the deciding factor in this. And that's going to be, you know what? No, I'm not going to. Because I don't want Anton to fucking scramble around and make the changes. But
nice.
Anton loses.
All right, moving along here. Double D versus Itty Bitty TE by committee. Who's winning this?
Ooh, I'm going with Double D on this one. Yeah, I just think Double D.
I had you pegged as an Itty Bitty tight end guy. I thought you loved the tight ends. You're going with the Double D instead of the tight end.
How can you bet? How can you bet against Double D? You said it yourself last week. You can't bet against Double D.
No, I said you can't bet against Chris.
No, I said last week. You said last week.
I don't remember what I said last week. This is a whole new week. I'm taking Itty Bitty tight end by committee. I know he's got a few Waller. Waller probably needs to be changed out there. Does he have a tight end? He's got some options, but maybe not.
No, yeah, Henry's.
I think Henry's on a bye too.
Yeah. He does have an open bench spot though, so
yeah, he's got to fill that. Isn't it odd enough that Itty Bitty TE by committee has no TEs?
Yeah. It's got one.
There's no TEs on this committee. I don't know how I'm supposed to have a committee of TEs without a TE. But I don't know. I see buys on both sides here. Derek's missing a quarterback. He's probably got to put in a waiver request that we might see tomorrow, but I don't know. I'm gonna take Ben's team here. We both agreed that he's got a very solid team top to bottom, and 3-2 is not. He shouldn't be slipping to 3-3, and so I'm sticking with Ben on this.
All right.
Rob versus Paul. Rob, I feel so bad for him after last week, where he had just. He had, I think, the third most points.
Did your doorbell just ring?
Yeah. He had the third most points, and he still lost to me.
Yeah.
Take it away.
All right. And while we're waiting for Sean to answer his door here, this is a very tough game to forecast. It looks like, of course, with Killer Tomatoes that make a move with Josh Jacobs. But I think basically what has to happen here is I don't know. I'm going with y'all look so dumb on this one. We'll see what Mr. Sean says here. Hopefully he's not getting murdered. We might be witnessing Sean getting murdered, so he'll edit this out though.
All right, I'm back.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Paul on this one.
Okay, we both pick Paul.
I mean, I don't know where he's gonna fill DK or Cook, but
Yeah.
I gotta take Palmer.
All right.
So taking a look, or do we have one more game? Nope, that's it, right? Did I have that up there twice?
You did, yeah.
All right, had it up there twice. Taking a look at the numbers here, what are your thoughts?
Well, can you do the points for? Can you so we can see where the scoring? Yeah, I mean, you look at this. Not much movement. I mean, there was movement, but no one who was outside of the top 4 jumped into the top 4 from last week. It's just shuffling around of the teams that were in the top 4. You know, I think it's going to pretty much stay that way going forward. You know, you had a big week. Nearly 200 points is gonna do that to you every week. Any week is gonna put you up there. You know, we quickly discussed last week whether UK Bills has a shot at the point championship at the end of the season. He was about 200 points out of first place.
Wow.
I mean, he's gained maybe about 10 points since then. So it's yeah, I mean, I think UK Bills can be written off right now for the point total, but he could still win the championship, which at the end of the day, there's more money, right? So
it's still wide open.
Yeah.
Still wide open. Anyhow, thanks for joining us this week, Dave.
Well, before you let us go, what are you going to have Ben do as your challenge?
It's something I'm still thinking about. I have until tomorrow, right?
You have until Sunday.
I thought I had to do it before Thursday, before the game started, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll think about it overnight and get back to you.
All right, sounds good. Until next week, good luck all with the rest of this week, everyone. Fuck yourself.